Día for María. Written by Catherine Follett. Illustrated by Carolina Farias. Focus question. How do María and her family celebrate loved ones who have passed away? Having a cat named Mouse sounds like a joke. Ratona's name was not meant to be funny, though. She was a lot like a mouse. She was small, with thick gray fur, and her meow was a tiny squeak. She loved to hide in holes. Her favorite spot was a missing brick in the wall of our garden shed. Ratona lived for a very long time. About 8 months ago, she died. I'm not sad anymore, but I think about her often. One day, I was thinking about Ratona, just as Mamá set a picture of Tía Teresa on an ofrenda, a special altar. Mamá was getting ready for Día de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. Teresa passed away when I was a baby. Mamá, is Día de los Muertos also for pets? I asked. Usually, Día de los Muertos is for family, Mamá said, thinking. Though I suppose Ratona was part of our family, too. Maybe we can have a special celebration for her, I suggested. It can be the day before Día de los Muertos. That sounds like a nice idea, María, Mamá said. Some of your friends can come celebrate their pets, too. What is Day of the Dead? Día de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is a Mexican holiday celebrated around the world that usually happens on November 1st and 2nd. Día de los Muertos is a joyous holiday when people celebrate family and friends who have passed away. People may build ofrendas, march in parades, visit graveyards, and prepare special dishes to honor those who have died. Some people believe that the spirits of loved ones visit during this time. That afternoon, Mamá and I went to the big market in Puebla. I clutched her hand so I wouldn't get lost in the crowd. There were dozens of booths selling toys, flowers, decorations, and firecrackers for Día de los Muertos. I bought pink and red paper banners and 3 pretty candy calaveras, or sugar skulls. Mamá got a big bundle of orange marigolds. I even found a funny skeleton doll holding a cat. After school, on October 31st, my friends Adriana and Gloria came over. Adriana brought her big white dog, Sal, or Salt. She had a photo of Sal's sister, Pimienta, or Pepper, who died last summer. Gloria also had a picture of a pet she had lost. This is Raúl, the world's friendliest rooster. Let's set up the ofrenda by the garden shed, I said. That's where Ratona used to sit. We arranged marigolds in and around Ratona's hole and hung paper banners on the wall. Then we set up our photos among the flowers. One time, Pimienta got into our refrigerator, Adriana said. She ate over a pound of queso. We thought she would feel sick. But that night, she got into the trash and ate what was left. We all laughed. So, I brought Pimienta some queso, Adriana said. She set a piece of cheese in front of Pimienta's photo. Raúl also got into our food, Gloria said. It was on Día de los Muertos. My mother makes spicy pepitas for my great-grandfather's ofrenda. Raúl jumped onto the ofrenda and ate them. My madre was so mad. She didn't forgive him until he sat on her shoulder. That was how he made friends. So, I brought pepitas for Raúl, the world's friendliest rooster. Gloria set the pumpkin seeds on the ofrenda. Ratona was usually very quiet, I said, unless someone had helado. Then she went squeak, 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 until you let her lick the bowl. She would lick it all the way across the house. I have some helado just for Ratona. I placed the bowl of ice cream in Ratona's old hiding spot. When it was time for Adriana and Gloria to go home, I gave each of them a colorful calavera. I loved having the special ofrenda in our yard. It reminded me of all the funny things Ratona used to do. At sunset, on the last day of celebrations, my whole family walked to the graveyard to visit Tía Teresa. My 2 brothers carried bundles of flowers, and I carried a big candle. Every family from the neighborhood came out. The graveyard was full of laughing voices. There was even a mariachi band. My grandparents were already there, along with Mama's brother, Tío Juan, and my cousins. Tía Teresa's gravestone was piled with flowers, sweet pan de muertos, and twinkling candles. Someone began lighting fireworks. My cousins and brothers dashed away to watch. But Mama stood by the gravestone. She smiled thoughtfully. I have a story about Teresa that I don't think you know, Mama said to me. One day, Teresa was walking to town. She heard a tiny squeak coming from some tall grass. It was a little gray kitten. She was so tiny that Teresa named her Ratona. Tío Juan and my grandparents smiled at the memory. When Teresa died, I took Ratona home. Mama continued. You were just a baby, María, but you loved her right away. You always kept her by your side. Seeing you with Ratona reminded me of Teresa. It made me very happy. Everyone in the graveyard was laughing and dancing. Their faces were lit by warm candlelight. I was too young to remember Tía Teresa, but we had both loved Ratona. Thinking about them together made me happy too. That was what Día de los Muertos was all about. Mama took my hand and stood up. I think it's time to dance, she said. Connections, writing and art. María celebrates family members by telling stories about them. Write and illustrate a favorite story about one of your family members. Social studies and art. As a class, discuss how the ofrenda is an important part of Día de los Muertos. Make paper banners and decorations for an ofrenda and set it up in your classroom.